Assalamu alaikum dear students. Again we are here today with another topic of stylistics, that is approaches in stylistic analysis. We left our debate on the different levels of stylistic analysis. You must recall what we did before it. We have done that a text can be analyzed at different levels, like for example phonological level, morphemic level, syntactic level, semantic level and discourse level. So, it means a text can have an option to explore at different levels, and these levels, what do I mean? These levels means the stairs we are taking to go to the highest level of its interpretation. So, it means we are moving from a single sound to the most complex form of a single sound, that is a paragraph. So, talking about from the smallest to the highest level of language, that is discourse, from phoneme to the discourse. It does mean we are moving from the least to the highest level of complexity. That is all about our previous lecture. So, today we are having the discussion on the approaches, that how can we analyze or what the way we can take while analyzing some text. A text can be analyzed at any one level, either to analyze the text from simple to complex, as I said, from phoneme to a discourse level structure, or from more complex to the easier ones, and we call it bottom up or top down. These are two approaches we take. What is bottom up and what is top down? Well, the name indicates itself that what they are going to analyze. Bottom up means moving on to explore the text from a single sound to the most complex form of it in the form of a discourse, and top down means you take the whole discourse, the whole paragraph in your consideration, and then break down all of those paragraphs into different sentences, sentences into clauses, and clauses into phrases, and phrases into words, and words into phonemes. That is what we have provided the example of sound in some text. So, from moving micro to the macro level, it means from the smallest chunk to the complex, most complex chunk in the given text, that develops your bottom up approach. Okay, now let us explore what is micro and macro. Again another debate has opened with this one name, micro and macro level of analysis, because in stylistics we also found the three more levels of analysis with respect to divide the text into different chunks. Micro level analysis just talk about in depth all details of the text from all levels as we have studied in our previous lecture. And macro level just look for the text for its bird's eye view. So, it means looking deep into, we have known to this term that bird's eye view, it means you are just taking the graphological level, you are just looking for the main theme of the text, you are just looking for what are the main features which are described in the given text, or what are the main things which are described in the given text. This is all about the macro level analysis, talking about few sentences or few main chunks in the given text. So, micro to macro we have in between one more level, that is meso level. Well, meso level describes analysis of a text taking the characteristics of micro level and macro level. So, it means when you are describing not only the in-depth study of the given text, but also you are providing the main details of the given text. So, it means you start your analysis from the main chunks, main information in the given text to the most appropriate and most prominent feature which is at micro level, that develops your meso level analysis. And a good stylistician adopts meso level because it gives the understanding to the reader that he has studied and interpreted the whole text from both aspects of micro and macro. So, what is bottom up approach? Let us talk about these two approaches which are our today's discussion. The bottom up approach is in stylistic analysis starts with the smallest units of language to be explored, such as phonemes, morphemes, syntactic categories and builds up to large units like sentences, paragraphs and the entire text. So, it means graphological and graphetics are concerned over here. It means you are analyzing the text from the phonemic level to the discourse level. The example of this level can be analyzing a poem. So, let us explore how to analyze a poem through bottom up approach. A bottom up approach might begin by examining the use of alliteration, assonance and consonance, and these are all the sounds, repeated sounds of alliteration, assonance and consonance. It means the consonants, repeated sound of consonants and the repeated sounds of vowel sounds. Then move on to the syntax and structure of sentence, and finally discuss the overall effect of these features on the poem's meaning. Well, you know very well that bottom up is to move on from a single alphabet. Let us say for example, we take phoneme as a single alphabet. From a single alphabet to the most complex form, that is a sentence, and then sentence to a paragraph. It seems very easy that to analyze some text from bottom up approach is quite an easy task. Let us explore, is it easier or the toughest one? The second approach is top down approach, and it works out from macro level of analysis to micro level, as the word indicates, top to down. So, what is top? At the top, what are the main features of your text, and what is at the micro level? Now, what is the least prominent category in your given text? So, the top down approach starts with the overall context and its features, the particular genre and purpose of the text for which it is being written, and then works down to the smaller units of language. So, it means you are taking the whole news. Let us say for example, we are exploring the stylistic features of a news. A news can have a picture, a news can have a headline, a subheading and the details under it. So, moving on from what is the main heading of the given news and how the picture is just aligned with the given idea, and then what the details are supporting that main idea given in the headline. This is all about your macro level analysis. You haven't studied the text itself in depth, you are just taking the impression of the text as a whole. And what is micro level? When you are dealing with the syntactic structure of the headline, when you are dealing with the intensity of the subheading information, and when you are dealing with the descending or ascending order of the information provided in the given narration of the details. You know, the details are in a narration form. So, you find out the organization of the given news in the form of ascending or descending order. That was the quite macro level or top down approach of analyzing a news from a newspaper. Another example is analyzing a speech. A top down approach might begin by considering the speaker's purpose. Let us say for example, what is my purpose? To talk to you today. Your audience intention and historical context. Then examine how the text structure or the structure of the text is created, what is the tone or the voice of the author, and language features, that means linguistic features that contribute to its overall effect. And finally, discuss specific linguistic choices such as metaphor or repetition. I am just giving an example of metaphor or repetition in terms of use of cohesive devices, use of lexical items, or use of any feature that depends to construct some text or the feature of some text, that means the shape of some text. The example of bottom up approach can be a sonnet provided by Shakespeare, that is sonnet number 18. I will definitely give the text to you. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? So, let us explore. This one whole sonnet provides a stylistic features to a reader. A bottom-up analysis might note the use of iambic pentameter, a rhyming meter that is required for poetry, and its effect on rhythm. The metaphor in the line, "Thou art more lovely and more temperate." Where is metaphor? Can you identify? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. It is the art itself. The use of personification. I am just finding out the figurative language of this one sonnet first. That means the lexical item in terms of figurative use. Personification in terms of summer's lease hath all too short a date. And if we explore the same sonnet for top-down approach, how it can be explored. For the same sonnet, a top-down analysis might consider the sonnet's genre and traditional structure, in which era it is written and for which reason the whole sonnet is constructed on traditional level. Shakespeare's purpose in comparing his beloved to a summer's day. What is the reason that he is comparing his beloved with some summer day, and what is the effect of summer's day? For sure. The cultural associations of summer in the Renaissance era. Both approaches can be useful. Renaissance era and all the features of that era can be explored in terms of macro level, from top down to the lowest level of using that lexical items in the given sonnet. Both approaches can be useful, and often stylisticians combine elements of both to gain a deeper understanding of the text. Where bottom-up analyzes the use of repetition in a poem's refrain to understand its effect on rhythm and emphasis, top-down examines a novel's themes and tone in the context of its historical period and author's biography. So, it means if one is important, let us say for example, we may say that a poetic chunk can be best explored through bottom-up approach, while the narration can be better explored through top-down approach. So, both approaches are important in terms of its stylistic analysis. I hope the deep understanding has been provided to you in terms of different levels of stylistics and different approaches to be used to analyze some text. Thank you so much for your patience. This is all about your today's lecture. Stay blessed.